heard about the Spider-Man leak yesterday, but I thought it was related to the Doomsday leak, so I was like, why would I care? But then I find out, no, the actual Spider-Man Brand New Day trailer leaked, and I'm just like, Marvel has to be doing this on purpose, bro. Like, what? There is no way all these trailers are just magically getting leaked, bro. Somebody, like, if this is a coincidence, Marvel is going to kill somebody over this.
Insanity is currently going on in the Spider-Man fandom because it appears
crazy.
that about 90% of the Spider-Man Brand New Day trailer has found its way online.
No, this isn't a teaser trailer, because the Doomsday was just a teaser trailer. The actual full-length trailer.
Last night in my most recent video, I only talked about the first 30-40 seconds of the trailer, but now a second trailer has hit the spiderwebs, and we's got to break it down. So that's exactly what I'll be doing here for you guys, is trying to do my best to piece together this grainy 140p unfinished CGI trailer, because now that we have this second piece,
how are they getting these trailers?
This movie is making a lot more sense, but at the same time, also not a lot of sense. You'll see what I mean when we get to it here, but I need to hear from you guys. Can you believe we've had a crazy week at Marvel? Like, their security team must be on holiday vacation. And for those of you that are going to comment it, yes, I'm also aware even the audio for the second Avengers Doomsday trailer with Thor has also leaked. But let's hear the crowd on that one. Yeah, so we're gonna talk about Spider-Man. All right, so yes, I'm just gonna recap the whole situation in case you didn't watch my video last night, although you should. A lot of other great movie news in there. But the way this got leaked is a similar way that the Spider-Man No Way Home trailer leaked online all those years ago. There's a survey website that some companies use to get feedback on trailers that they're making and preparing. This is usually a pretty secure system since people usually have to sign up.
Why does it always seems like the only movies that begin leaked are Spider-Man movies, and I guess Avengers movies now. But it's like those two, like, you'll never see a Thor leak. You'll never see a Doctor Strange leak. It's so crazy.
A bunch of papers and promise they won't record it and post it online because they will owe a ton of money.
And how do they not have a more secure way of getting feedback about their trailers?
This person did not listen and were able to watch the Spider-Man Brand New Day trailer with unfinished VFX and decided to record it, I guess, on their phone from 2005 and post it online. And whenever the first trailer released online, I, like a lot of people, was skeptical, and I thought, this is not real. This is fake. This is AI. Come on, guys. We're not going to fall for this. But then Sony actually started copyrighting the video left and right, and they were being quicker about it than the Steve Rogers Avengers Doomsday trailer. This does not look like one of their purposeful leaks, or like they're starting to recreate the marketing for No Way Home, because that's where my mind went, conspiracy theory. I was like, oh, the No Way Home marketing started with a leaked trailer on someone's phone. Brand New Day trailer is going to be the same way. But no, it looks like Sony is actually pissed about this situation. So again, not going to be able to show any footage. All of that out of the way, let's talk about the footage completely and how the second part of the trailer really puts things in perspective. I know some people found the dialogue that Tom Holland says in the beginning part of the trailer kind of corny. I actually really like it. It's Spider-Man
Bro, I wonder if I can find the trailer. I might do that after this video.
Introducing himself, saying, hi, you might not remember me, but something bad was gonna happen and I had to make you forget, and sometimes being Spider-Man means breaking Peter Parker's heart. Just a little cheesy, a little corny. But
I feel like that's stuff that we say about, like the audience says about Spider. I don't I can't believe Spider-Man would say that about Spider-Man. Peter Parker.
Spider-Man means break.
What'd he say?
I actually really like it. It's Spider-Man reintroducing himself, saying, hi, you might not remember me, but something bad was gonna happen and I had to make you forget, and sometimes being Spider-Man means breaking Peter Parker's heart. Just a
Yeah, hey, Peter Parker, save that for us, bro.
A little cheesy, a little corny, but that's Spider-Man sometimes. Perfectly cheesy, perfectly corny. To me, the highlight, though, of that first part was the recreation of a couple comic book covers. One was of the Amazing Fantasy 15 that admittedly has been overdone a lot, but it's still awesome to see it get recreated. There was one of Spider-Man going up a building with boomerangs being thrown at him in slow motion, which is a recreation of this cover. And I couldn't quite nail the second one until people reminded me of the photo of Destin Daniel Cretton's office when making Spider-Man Brand New Day. And not only was the boomerang cover there, but the cover of Spider-Man fighting Tarantula, and that actually does match another shot in the trailer of Spider-Man looking to tussle somebody in this exact same position. This honestly makes me feel like, you know, Boomerang, Tarantula, and like a lot of these villains that we're hearing, I'm thinking they're just going to be early montages to kind of give you an idea of what Spider-Man has been doing since we last saw him in No Way Home. I don't think Boomerang and Tarantula will actually be huge parts of the story, because even just those shots and using them to recreate comic book covers, they feel like montage sequences to be like, hey, this is what Spider-Man does on his time. In fact, it looks like there's even another comic book that was recreated. If you guys remember the Pinterest leak, where one of the directors of photography was trying to set up a mood board for what they wanted the movie to look like, there was a cover of Spider-Man doing laundry, and in the trailer, there is a shot of Spider-Man looking at his washing machine, really emulating those kind of regular guy vibes that I think Tom Holland's Spider-Man has been missing. I do laundry too, Spider-Man. Not a comic book cover, but still an interesting shot of Spider-Man fighting a group of ninjas in red that we are hearing is supposed to be the Hand in this movie. So that's the stuff we knew, but with this second part of the trailer, it gets way more trippy.
Oh, I wonder, do we see Punisher? Do we see Hulk? I heard that they were doing the Gray Hulk, Joe Fixit Hulk too. I don't know if that's true or not.
Starts off with Spider-Man hanging upside down in an alley in New York where he's basically half naked and he's staring at his arms and saying to himself, what is happening to me, as he falls and catches himself with his spider web. This is a crazy shot because
this is like the Toby. When does he kind of lose his power? Spider-Man 2? I feel like that's Spider-Man 2.
I didn't notice this at first because the entire image is blurry and there's black bars trying to cover the watermark. That way Sony and Marvel can't trace back the person who leaked this. And that's what makes this second part of the trailer so hard to figure out, because those black bars just take up 50% of the screen. But the crazy thing here is some people are thinking in this scene where Spider-Man is hanging upside down and staring at his arms is because he has organic web shooting like Tobey Maguire, no longer requiring the web shooters. And I'm feeling conflicted on this.
Where does this come from?
When I first saw that, I thought it was more mimicking kind of him losing his powers or struggling with his powers, similar to Tobey Maguire in Spider-Man 2, because he falls and he's like, what's happening to me?
Why is this happening to me?
There's also a voiceover in the trailer that maybe is Tombstone, played by Marvin Jones, where he's basically saying a spider has 3 life cycles. And in between those life cycles, a spider is vulnerable. And that to me was just like a very peculiar line. But then it all started to click, and I remembered some of the early rumors about Spider-Man Brand New Day is that they would take inspiration from spider totems. If you don't know about this, this is a concept that was introduced whenever the spider...
Oh my gosh. I thought this was supposed to be our street level story, man. Why are we doing spider totems? What? That's just too... Because that's where Spider-Man always loses me. I guess spider totems are like kind of like anchor beings, but for Spider-Man specifically.
Reverse comic book event was going on. It's this idea that in every universe, there is a spider avatar. There is a spider totem. Someone who is gifted with the abilities of Spider-Man in every universe. And it's something that connects them all to the web of life and destiny. Not just that, but that there are also these evil beings that feed on spider totems in every universe and are going around killing spider people in an effort to increase their powers. And okay,
I feel like we just saw that in Venom, The Last Dance, bro, with Noel and his parademons or whatever those were, bro. Trying to get Venom.
I gotta be honest with you, I don't love the idea of spider totems being introduced in this world. And even looking at a specific comic book storyline, Spider-Man The Other, some things that happen in that story run really feel like they're happening here. In that book, Spider-Man is like damaged, he's hurt, he's dying. We don't really know what's happening to him. All we know is that it's a radiation illness. Peter is so desperate, he goes to other people for help, like Reed Richards, Bruce Banner, Hank Pym, and nobody can figure out what's wrong with Peter. Eventually, though, Peter ends up in a cocoon where then he is rebirthed, and once he comes out, he is more powerful, stronger, and has new abilities.
Marvel, no. Marvel, MCU, please. Kevin Feige, no. What?
Things like night vision and his senses are enhanced. And so now look back at the beginning of the trailer a little bit more. Is that scene of Spider-Man hanging upside down,
that
falling,
can't be.
looking at his new abilities of maybe organic webbing? I mean, even go back to Tom Holland, who is always known to hint and spoil things. Look at the comment he said. It's a fresh start. It really feels like we're not making a 4th movie. We're making the first movie of the next chapter It's a rebirth. Oh.
I really thought Marvel was gonna give us a street level Spider-Man story, man. I don't. Maybe they can save it because I mean, Tombstone. What does that have to? Why though? Okay. Well, we still can hold out for Punisher, Hulk, Sadie Sink. I heard Sadie Sink might be in the trailer.
Obviously, I'm being a little nitpicky and worried, but once you set up the concept that these Spider-Men have web shooters, I thought it actually added a cool, suspenseful dynamic factor to Spider-Man, and it was like one of the scenes in Homecoming I actually really like, that he like uses his own science lab to create his spider fluid. In Tom Holland's trilogy, I feel like they barely used a lot of those things that make Spider-Man iconic, with him almost rarely running out of spider fluid. He barely figures out how to use his spider sense towards the later movies, and now we're maybe evolving him to the point he doesn't need them. Oh, okay. If this is true, I can now see why they made the web shooters so oversized for this movie, so we as an audience can see how much of an inconvenience they are and be happy when he gets the upgrade later in the movie. But as Spider-Man fans, complaining about the web shooters wasn't us saying we don't want the web shooters. We were just like, hey, could you maybe just make them not as huge? But again, going back to how things are aligning from that comic, in this second part of the trailer is that Peter Parker does go up to Bruce Banner and asks for his help. The dialogue of that scene goes, Professor Banner, I need your help.
Wait, is this from the trailer or the comics? I missed that.
In this second part, make them not as huge. But again, going back to how things are aligning from that comic, in this second part of the trailer is that Peter Parker does go up to Bruce Banner and asks for his help. The dialogue of that scene goes, Professor Banner, I need your help, and Bruce Banner responds with, you're not one of my students, are you? Revealing a couple of things. One, Bruce Banner is a professor at a college right now, and it doesn't seem like it's a college that Peter is currently attending. Also, the spell is in a...
Huh? He said this was from a comic.
Huge. But again, going back to how things are aligning from that comic, in this second part of the trailer is that Peter Parker does go up to Bruce Banner and asks for his help. The dialogue of that scene goes, Professor Banner, I need your help, and Bruce Banner responds with, you're not one of my students, are you? Revealing a couple of things. One, Bruce Banner is a professor at a college right now, and it doesn't seem like it's a college that Peter is currently attending. Also, the spell is in effect because Bruce Banner has no clue who Peter Parker is, and although we've never seen them interact in the movies, they were pretty close to each other at Tony Stark's funeral. I imagine Bruce Banner would at least know Peter Parker before the spell.
I am still holding out hope that there's a scene in Brand New Day where I know it's like ripped straight from the comics. It's where I guess everyone's forgot Spider-Man, but the Hulk still remembers. So I don't know. Like Spider-Man goes up to Hulk and the Hulk's like, "Hey, Peter," and then Peter's like, "Oh, you remember me?" And then like, yeah, Banner forgot, but the Hulk remembered. That'd be tough. I need that.
Like in the comic book here, if Spider-Man is having some illness or some issues involving radiation, who is he going to go to on the expert of radiation? Bruce Banner Hulk. Just like in the comic, he went to Reed Richards, Hank Pym. And so maybe this is an issue that Spider-Man deals with in the movie. This whole line about the life cycle and him being vulnerable in between stages. Maybe Spider-Man, before he gets to this cocoon phase and it gets upgraded abilities, he is losing parts of his powers or isn't working as well, because then that would make the last part of this trailer also make sense, where it ends off with Frank Castle showing up, shooting a bunch of people, and Spider-Man goes, Frank, what are you doing here? And Frank goes, what does it look like? Saving your ass, kid. Spider-Man is to the point now where I think a guy with a gun would not be much help. But if Spider-Man's powers are failing and he's having issues, he's getting into this sickness, changing in between his life cycle, then yeah, I guess the Punisher coming in with a gun would actually be very helpful in Spider-Man in that situation. So to me, it's looking extremely likely like Spider-Man totems are a thing, and this would also then make sense with some of the rumors we were hearing about Sadie Sink, is that she was playing Shothra. This is one of those Spider-Man totem hunters I was telling you about that go universe to universe, feeding off spider people and
MCU, what are we doing?
their abilities. And well, it looks like the Spider Gods were willing to answer me early, because as I was recording and getting ready to upload, some new information has hit the web, where some people are claiming that Sadie Sink will not be Shothra, but Sadie Sink could be playing a possible secret mutant character. From the Cosmic Circus, they have it here. Tremel Tillman is reportedly playing the new head of DODC in Spider-Man Brand New Day. That's the Department of Damage Control. The Department of Damage Control is leading an investigation to apprehend new rogue metahumans they have been monitoring for some time, played by Sadie Sink. I am now getting right back to the excited train. Maybe this spider totem thing isn't exactly happening. They even add some more details saying here that Sink's character will be under the protection of John Bernthal's character, which will make him a person of interest in the DODC's investigation as well, along with Bruce Banner and Spider-Man. Okay.
Isn't Punisher already a fugitive though? I'm pretty sure. What? I'm pretty sure Punisher's a fugitive. He's not. I forget. I watched Daredevil a little bit ago, so I'm not.
This is a direction I so much more prefer, that the mutants are maybe being hunted. I still don't know whether it's Jean Grey, but it looks like she's definitely wanted. If she was playing Jean Grey, or maybe some sort of telepath, maybe that's how she was able to read Spider-Man's mind and know about the Doctor Strange spell. I'm reaching, I'm stretching, but dog, I prefer this over spider totems. But I'm willing to see them play through, because the moments of this trailer that actually got me unbelievably excited was we do get glimpses of that scene that we had been seeing them film for what felt like months. The Spider-Man versus the tank. Oh my goodness, they cooked with that scene, guys. The web swinging, Tom Holland's web swinging is peak now. He's on the tank, he's turning around, his eyes are emoting and squinting, very similar to a couple of comic book covers. So it's good to know his new suit's.
How is he squinting though? Because he lost the Tony Stark suit, so he shouldn't have. I guess that might just be how Tom Holland's Spider-Man works, I guess.
Still has that ability to emote, but he's dodging cars. Things are.
Wait, what?
So it's good to know his new suit still has that ability to emote, but he's dodging
But
cars.
how is a broke college student supposed to afford an emoting suit?
Things are exploding and the web swinging just looks amazing. If you're not on this story, I can tell the action sequences in this movie are about to blow me away. But look, even if spider totems does end up being a thing, this still feels like a large part of the movie is this gang war or street villains that Spider-Man has to go up against. Like I said, Tombstone has a narration in the trailer taunting Spider-Man about being vulnerable during his life cycle. You get a shot of Scorpion in his prison outfit, and we've seen in set photos Scorpion gets broken out of prison. The Hand are involved in this movie, and so honestly those are the aspects I'm most excited about, because that's the street level Spider-Man story I wanted, is him dealing with the gang wars in New York. But it still feels like some trippy cosmic multiverse stuff is going on in the background as well. Still gonna be there day one, and if the movie is awesome,
I will be there.
Oh dude, I was wrong, all of this makes sense. But now I'm kind of seeing now how those early reports of this is a street level story, but they found a way to include multiverse elements in it as well. I'm seeing how that's happening now. Sony gets their cake and eat it too. So we'll find out a whole lot more once this trailer actually gets released. Whenever the No Way Home trailer leaked online, Sony put it out the very next day, and well, I feel like Sony would have done that by now and they haven't yet. Or maybe they're just gonna stick to their guns, keep copyrighting videos, and they will release it around the Super Bowl like what was originally reported is gonna happen.
Yeah, I don't know, man. This movie just seems so messy. There's so many moving hands. The Hand, Punisher, Hulk, Sadie Sink, Scorpion, Tombstone. I feel like I'm forgetting the baby spider totems. This is the first time I've ever heard of that being a thing in this movie. Not only do you have so much stuff going on for this movie, you still have a lot of things from No Way Home you still have to tie in. Like the symbiotes in the MCU now. Are we just gonna forget about that? Ned and MJ, are they gonna be in the movie? I think they'll be in the movie. I just like, how are they gonna tie in? At the end of the day, street level or not, I'm gonna watch the movie. I just want it to be, I want it to make sense. I want it to be a cohesive movie. Like I went and rewatched No Way Home for the first time in a while the other day, and No Way Home is so messy. Like it is, I think obviously in the theaters it was a good time. Like I would do anything to go back and get to relive that, see it in the theaters. But outside the theaters, just as a movie by itself, it's a messy movie. It's not the best movie. So I don't know. I just want better for Spider-Man. And I mean, there's definitely some interesting parts. I just don't. A little confused, a little nervous, but I don't know. Still excited to see the movie. Let me know down in the comments what you guys think. If there does Marvel still have the sauce? It definitely does. Spider-Man definitely still has the sauce. But even if the movie does make $1 billion, is the movie going to be good? As always, thank you for watching and listening to me yap about the MCU. It's one of my favorite things to talk about. Shout out to 3C Films. Go check out his channel. I'm going to start tagging him in the comments because I feel bad for taking his videos. But thanks for watching. Hope you enjoy. Love y'all. Be good people.